Hi everyone, and welcome to day 30, the last day in our 30 for 30 series. Congratulations, you've made it. Today is all about sharing with others. So what that's going to translate on our mat is a lot of heart opening, this giving of yourself, of your heart, and then having the opportunity to take that off the mat. So let's get started. So as always, you don't need any props, but if you do have any, you might grab a block, a strap, maybe a blanket if you have sensitive knees. And then let's begin in Vajrasana, so thunderbolt pose. Your knees bent, sitting on your heels. Spread your toes, pull your pinky toes away and then down towards the earth. That's going to activate your outer shins and drawing them in. Allow your hands to rest on your thighs and then gently close your eyes. And at the beginning of this practice, I invite you to remember all of the gifts that you've uncovered over these past 29 days and now 30. And consider how you would like to share that with others. Perhaps much more challenging work than doing a physical asana practice. Moving your practice off the mat. And there's a lot of opportunities and experiences that we've had on the mat over the past 30 days. What love have you uncovered, gathered, that now you can give? Whatever expression is right for you. Something small, something large. Fold your hands together in front of your heart. State that intention and then adding on to even go deeper, to keep moving into eventually being love. And what does that look like in every single asana that we do? Release your hands back down to your thighs. Allow your eyes to gently open. Now come on to your knees. And let's start by going into hands and knees, and we'll get a little thigh stretch. A little thigh stretch. Step your right foot forward. You might think it's a big thigh stretch. Okay, back toes can be tucked under to help that outer shin drawing in. And then we're focused on, once we have our balance, coming up. And then we're going to get into opening our chest more. So clasp your hands behind your back, pressing the palms together. And this is where you can grab your strap if this is not working for your shoulders. And then start by bending the elbows. Draw the elbows in towards each other. Create space from your hip bones to your armpits. And then straighten your arms into that space. Bottom tips of your shoulder blades, draw them together. Lift your heart. Maybe you turn this into a back bend. Maybe you're not ready for that. Choose. Inhale, come up. Remember which way you clasp your hands. And then switch sides. Left leg forward, right leg back. Firm up the legs and then come up. And clasp your hands the other way. Again, start by creating space. So it's like you're broadening the upper arms away from each other so that you can then have space to draw the elbows in towards each other. And then straighten the arms. Lift your heart up and back. Choosing the back bend or not. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Switch to the right side. So this time, inhaling, coming up, and this, reach your arms overhead. And be very happy here. And maybe do a little movement. So let's take the pelvis forward and back. Just a little movement here. It's okay to bring the knee, right knee can go past the ankle. Because the back lays down, and then forward, and then back. And then from here, choose again whether you want to stay here or do your back bend. Let's try. If this is too intense, bend your elbows out to the sides or bring your arms down by your hips to make it easier. So some version of a back bend for you today. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, switch sides. Left leg forward and come up in your own time. Arms either by your side. Everybody start with your arms overhead. And then you can choose to later on bring your arms down by your side or bend the elbows, whatever you want. What for you gets those shoulder blades on your back to create that opening so that you can back bend. Lift back and front ribs and lean back like you're taking your head back into that headrest in your car. Inhale up. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Take the left leg back to meet the right. Hands and knees. Steady. Gaze. Tuck both toes under. Lift your knees off the ground and hover. Take a breath. Feel your abdominals kicking in because they have to, so you can stay lifted. And then just add on to that, downward facing dog. Straighten the legs. So feel the forearms drawing in towards each other. Feel the upper arms spinning out away from each other. And very specifically, getting even more specific here, the inner edges of the upper arms are spinning upward. The outer edges of the upper arms are spinning downward. And the forearms do the opposite to balance it out. So the inner edges of the forearms going down, the outer edges of the forearms going up. All of that in service of the shoulders to get more opening in the shoulders. Look in between your hands, walk your feet forward. Let your hands find something solid to be on, either the floor or the front of your shins. And then take your hands to your hips. Elbows point up to the sky with a long spine. Inhale, rise up. Tadasana. Surya Namaskar A. Gathering all that you've learned over these past 30 days, old information, new information. And let's inhale our arms overhead. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your legs back. Exhale, lower down halfway, elbows draw into the body. Inhale, lifting up gently. This is your first cobra. Exhale, up and back. Hanging out in downward facing dog for a few breaths. Feel the steadiness of the arms assisting your heart being able to pull through. Look in between your hands. And now choosing what's appropriate for you, either walk or jump your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands in front of heart. Release your arms down. Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, bow forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale to plank, pushing the floor away strongly with your hands. Exhale, Chaturanga, bending elbows in towards your body. Choosing to either go into up dog, just rolling onto the tops of the feet, or go back into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So check in and see how this Adho Mukha Svanasana feels compared to the first one. Where do you have more space? Move into it without collapsing in the arms. They're strong and steady without collapsing in the mid-back. Your low ribs are pulling in towards each other and up to the spine to support your heart. And then look in between your hands and walk or jump your feet forward, your choice. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach through the arms. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Release your arms down by your sides. Let's come down onto our knees for another opportunity to open up our thighs a little bit more. Virasana. So, feet wider than hips, thumbs take the center of the calf. And you're going to draw a straight line down the center and sit in between the heels. Okay, that might not have happened for you, so that's when you grab whatever you have on hand, maybe a block, a towel, whatever it is, and sit on it. And you can roll up your mat, a blanket, whatever, if this feels painful right here at the front of your shins. You could put a rolled whatever under here. Otherwise, spread the toes, pull the pinky toes down to the earth, lift your chest. You may choose to go into Supta Virasana at this point. If you do, make sure you come to the front of your mat so you have some room behind you. Heels are still hugging the legs, knees stay on the floor. So you can just start with your hands behind you, tilt your pelvis. Maybe you say, oh, I can come onto my forearms. Maybe you say, oh, I can come to lying all the way down. Your choice. And then suddenly you notice, hey, I did a back bend. Look at that. To come up, press down through the arms. And then the trick is to push evenly through the arms, not disturbing your spine. Push so you come straight up. Good job. From here, Nataraja. We're not going to do the full thing. We're going to modify it because for most people, 30 minutes is not long enough. To get warmed up, we'll do baby dancer pose. So stand up. Very simply, you're standing on your right leg, you're bending your left, standing on your left leg, bending your right leg back, and then grabbing the foot. And the knee, this right knee stays in line. And then you push the foot into the hand and open the heart. That's the basic form. If you can't grab the foot, or if you want to do it with arm overhead, but that's not available to you, you can grab a strap, make a loop. Make sure it's big enough for your foot. And then you bend the elbow, the right elbow, swing it in front of you and overhead, right by your ear. And then you walk your hands down the strap, wherever they'll go. Okay? And then push the foot into the hand and play with that. So, as you're standing here, a few things to think about, like a million. But first, your standing leg, left thigh bone, pull it back into the socket. Then, the ribs tend to want to turn from left to right. So turn your ribs from right to left. Then you can focus on those bottom tips of the shoulder blades coming together, coming to your front body, lifting your heart center. And you can go deeper. Head back, not letting the head jut forward. And release. Switch sides. So whichever way you want to do it, grabbing the foot or with the strap, stand on your right leg. Use what you learned on the other side that worked for you. See how you can translate it on this side. You can also use a wall if a wall is available to you. You could put your chest against the wall. You could grab a piece of heavy furniture with one hand for balance. Whoa. Wherever you're at, just notice your breath is steady, maybe a little faster than normal, and your gaze is soft. So this is representative of Nataraja, the expression of Shiva, the creator, the destruction of the world. And this is Nataraja, the Lord of the dance, standing right in the middle, full of calm. Left knee in line with the hip. Don't let it come out. And release. Good job. So now let's come down onto our mats. And very, very gently come into a Sukhasana. Let's cross our legs the other way from what you usually do. We'll do a nice little twist. Inhale, right arm up. And then exhale, right hand to left thigh, left hand behind, twist. As you're twisting directly over your torso here. And the right shoulder often wants to roll forward. So roll it back, bring that right shoulder blade more firmly onto the back as you're twisting. Inhale, center. Exhale, right hand behind you, left hand to right thigh. Turn. Left shoulder blade drive onto your back, even as you're twisting. And you can feel your pelvis is going to tell you if you're leaning one direction or the other, left, right, forward, or back. You're right in center here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lie down onto your backs. Knees bent, feet flat. Draw your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice big hug. Inhale, and then exhale, lift your head and draw your knees and your head together. Squeeze every muscle in your body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And now release. Set your feet down. Walk them back into Shivasana. Arms by your side, palms face up. Do whatever works for you to bring yourself back into your space, to ground yourself. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, rolling onto your right side, still moving slowly. Press yourself up to a seated, cross-legged position. And you can allow your eyes to gently close. Fold your hands together, connecting your thumbs with your heart center. I invite you at the end of this practice and at the end of this 30-day journey to celebrate how far you've come and all the gifts that you've received along the way. If you like this video, please support my channel by subscribing. Just click the link, the subscribe link below. And remember to like this video. It's important because it lets me know I'm doing a good job. Thank you so much for joining me on this 30-day yoga journey. Congratulations, you made it. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Namaste.